as far as a very windy and cold Madrid to have a look at the king of all the crossovers, the Nissan Qashqai. We're going to take up the mountains and see how we get on with the day. So, welcome to the Nissan Qashqai. This is the new one, and I'm in, where am I? Madrid, I think. I'm doing a bit of a U-turn here. Hold on a second, I think that man, do you want me? Yeah. This man here wants me, because he wants to scan my little card. Do you want this thing?
No, are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm going out 10 minutes and I'll be back.
You're leaving 10 minutes and you come back?
Yeah, it's just a quick spin around the area.
Okay, give me a second, please.
Confusion. You see, there's an awful lot of people involved in a journey like this, and you find that some people know what's going on, other people don't. Cool, yeah, right. See, it's all cool now. Thank you. Cheers. All these people are looking at me, wondering what I'm saying about the car, which is kind of cool. They're all a bit nervous because video, you see, has become a very big deal, particularly on my videos, but other videos as well. Who does what on video? Parkers is about to freak out here, see? Because there's gates and they're quite small. Now, but video has become very important in, you know, people buying cars, and you get to visually see the bloody car and people kind of freak out because of that. But this is the new Nissan Qashqai, and to say that, how would I explain this? It's perfectly inoffensive, which is fine. It's not terribly exciting. It's just what you probably want from a Nissan Qashqai. To be not exciting. You're not looking for a race car. And even in the press conference said, it's not a Golf GTI we're building here, it is a Nissan Qashqai. It's meant to be the kind of, you know, yummy mummy's car of choice. And I understand what they're at. I understand why they're doing that, because they have the market cornered with this car. And they always have. The Nissan Qashqai sold in enormous numbers over the years, and always has. And that's a good thing for them. It's very good looking on the outside, I have to say. I think it's pretty good looking. It's kind of American. And that's okay, because it's going to be based on my God, what the hell is that thing? It's I think there's a new Nissan Rogue, I think it's called, is an American thing, and this is, well, it's kind of based on the same thing. I am stuck behind a road sweeper with bits falling off it at the moment, and a solid white line, and cars coming the opposite direction. There's where it just came out of. Interestingly enough, just fill a bit of time now. But I'm in the mountains near Madrid, and they're actually snow covered at the moment. I can see a lot of snow up there. I'm in first gear doing 20 kilometers an hour. I'm sure he's going to pull in eventually, because I can't go by him. Solid white line, cars coming the opposite direction. This is the 1.2 petrol, which is a new engine for Nissan as well, and it's a revvy little thing. Unfortunately, for tipping about to town, I would understand this car more than I would understand a diesel car, because around the town, you know, you want low CO2, you want low fuel bills, you want low everything around the town, and this is what it's going to achieve for you. This is ridiculous. Can you not pull in out of the way? Seriously, man. Where are you going now? There's no way to buy this guy. I could die of old age sitting here waiting for this to happen. I'm going. I ran out of patience there. When you run out of patience, you just have to do things. But this is the 1.2 litre petrol. Now they've reduced the size of the engine and put a turbo in it, you know, and made it a little bit more peppy. It's supposed to be 120 odd brake horsepower. It doesn't feel it. Doesn't mean it isn't. It just doesn't feel like it's 120 brake horsepower. It's a good noise though. just the revs go on and on and on. It's like 6,500 RPM before it becomes red. But there's no torque. There's no big torque, big push for torque. But then this is a car to drive around the city. You know, it's a big car, it's a comfy car, it's a nice place to be. It's completely inoffensive as a car, the way it looks, exterior and interior. That's not unoffensive in a sort of a boring way. The hell is that supposed to be? Looks like a man with a dog shooting a gun. Doesn't mean it's necessarily boring. It just doesn't mean it's not going to excite you. Now, one big thing on the way here was the sat-nav lost us. We went through a tunnel, we went to the other side, and normally at that point the sat-nav will reconnect with itself. It'll find a satellite dish, it'll get all its coordinates, and then it'll just reroute you if you've made a mistake. But this just did not do that. It just gave up as to where we were. It didn't know what to do with us, and we drove along for a good 20 minutes on a motorway without knowing anything. It was just randomly shuffling through maps, vaguely pointing towards some sort of a blue road that might be on our right, might be on our left, could be a U-turn, and she just kept saying there are traffic restrictions in the area, there are traffic restrictions in the area. That's all she kept saying for the whole time, and it became this really annoying thing. Sat-nav, there might be a software issue with that. These are relatively new, although this car has been launched on certain markets, so it should have been sorted out long ago. Maybe there's a problem with one car in particular. We don't know, man. It's just the way it is. Anyway, I think that this car is, like I say, perfectly inoffensive to everyone. You will see this car in your showrooms and it will sell in numbers, because the Qashqai always does. And I can live with that, because it's kind of deserved this title over the years, because it's actually been one of those cars that continues to sell in numbers, and it continues to be perfectly inoffensive to everybody and desirable. And it's Nissan's really their only big selling car. They actually, in our market at least, they dropped cars like the Primera, the Almira, the Sunny, the Tida. They're all gone in our market. Really, in our market, we have the Nissan Note. Even the Murano's gone. I think you can still get them, but only on a special order. We have the Qashqai, we have the Note, and we have the Micra, and that's kind of it for the market in Ireland when it comes to Nissan. So a hell of a lot hangs on this Qashqai being very good. Tech is second to none. It's all there. Okay, the sat-nav is a bit wishy-washy as to what it does and where it wants to go, randomly telling you it needs to go somewhere else. But other than that, the tech is good. I like the Facebook integration thing. I hate Facebook. I hate the invasion of privacy Facebook has on people. But the tech is there. It seems to work. It all seems to work properly as well. So I don't really have a problem with the car. I don't think it's terribly exciting. I don't think it was ever designed to be exciting. That's okay. But at the same time, I'd like to see a little bit more, magic dust here and there. Give me something to really get my teeth into, get used to, be, tough on the steering wheel or heavier weighted. It's none of these things. It's just perfectly down the centre as a car. If you go out and buy one in the morning, you'll be happy with it. You won't be excited by it, you'll just be happy with it. Space in the cabin, spot on. Space in the boot, spot on. I do like the feature of putting a tonneau cover under the boot lid. That's pretty cool. Like I say, there's lots of lovely little things around the car. You'll be happy if you bought one. You'll be happy. I prefer, for my own needs, for my own mileage, my mileage is quite high every year, so for my own mileage I would go with the 1.5 DCI, which is as solid as a rock. The engine's as old as the hills, and that's a good thing, because it's been around the block and all the niggles are sorted out and there's never a problem with them. There is a 1.6 diesel which puts out more horsepower. Generally would be made to a CVT gearbox or automatic gearbox. These 1.2s are in a manual. The manuals are very nice, clunky sort of thing to go from place to place. Like I say, it's going to be a good seller. It'll be a nice car. It is a nice place to be. It is perfectly inoffensive. You'll be happy owning one. You just won't be excited by one. So after a day of rolling around the mountains, you can see that the Qashqai is definitely back and in a winning position. Although a little bit boring at times, I still find the car perfectly acceptable in every possible way apart from the sat-nav, which got me lost. But then the second car we drove back was actually perfect. So we will see how it does in Ireland. They're expecting about 75% diesel and 25% petrol sales. The 1.2 petrol is actually pretty good if you're going to be going around the town. The diesel's the one for the higher mileage. Whatever makes of it, you'll see it in your showrooms very, very soon. So I will see you on the far side.